we're back again to do a little college football.
College football.
Man, we are already into week 9, dude.
That is
season's
just crazy.
The season's just flying by like it.
Yeah, that's it's just crazy to think that it's already been like that long.
Yeah, we're almost in November. We were just waiting for August, and then it's already November. It's crazy, but we're going to talk a little NCAA football, a little college football. We have to recap week 8
and cover over week 9.
Some predictions on week 9. So let's just jump right in it. We're not going to take them in order doing the recap, but we will try to take them in order doing our predictions for you. But we'll just start out last Friday. Ohio State played Northwestern, and we'll just say for Northwestern because they got killed. 52-3.
Incoming Ohio State fans.
Yeah, that's the number one team in the nation, baby. Them in Central Florida. Wait a minute, the Central Florida. I can't say that anymore. But the Golden Knights, they got beat it. Speaking of the number one team in the country, we had Alabama taking on Tennessee, and Tennessee put up a fight.
Garantano.
The quarterback Mara got hurt for the second game in a row.
Garantano not a good quarterback.
No, he's Rogue 2. That's what they're calling him. Because he just makes up whatever plays he wants to at the time.
Yeah, but Alabama lost to Tagovailoa for a little bit at least.
For a little bit too. So that's a little bit dangerous for them there too. So it was.
And they have put in a new quarterback that has no chemistry with the wide receiver.
But you know what? It's Alabama.
Nick Saban finds a way, even in the dire situations.
Nick Saban will sell his 12th grandkid soul, and they'll win the season in the national championship. I'm just kidding. By the way, I'm just kidding. But Alabama always finds a way. Yeah, so I really don't have a whole lot of doubts about Alabama. Clemson, number 3 at Louisville.
Louisville had a rough season last year
it's continuing to be rough.
It's continuing to be rough with a new head coach.
Yeah.
So this is just the remains.
Yeah. 45-10. We had West Virginia at Oklahoma. West Virginia's having a bad year too. 52.
Lost their head coach to Houston, and they lost all their talent to the NFL.
Yeah, 52-14. And we had our boy again, Jalen Hurts, goes 16 of 17 for 316 yards and 3 TDs.
How many touchdowns? I think he got a couple on the ground, too.
Yeah, that was just passing. I didn't even talk about it. But wait a minute. The leading rusher for Oklahoma was Jalen Hurts. 10 carries for 75 yards and 2 TDs. So he had 5 TDs and 400.
Close to
right at 390 yards. So, yeah.
That's Jalen Hurts.
That's Jalen Hurts for you. We had Wisconsin at Illinois.
Upset of the season.
Oh, I would have never have picked that one in a million years. The Fighting Illini looked not really good this year.
They've never been a good football program.
But you know who Wisconsin plays after the Illini?
Ohio State.
Maybe looking ahead a little bit. Could have been looking ahead a little bit.
I'm thinking they're
looking past their opponent, and their opponent went. And
that's why you never do that.
24-23.
You never do that.
No, Wisconsin will have to win out now.
In order to have a chance at the
playoffs, yeah. We had number 9 Florida at South Carolina win 38-27.
You know what Florida did that Georgia couldn't do?
Win against South Carolina. We had number 11 Auburn at Arkansas, and they ate some bacon.
Auburn continues to torture Arkansas.
51-10.
Recently,
I smelled bacon all the way into Tennessee. They cooked them. Cooked them hard. Oh, mercy. We had number 2 LSU at Mississippi State. Mississippi State put up a little bit of a fight.
And the talent on offense for LSU just proved too much at the end of the day.
Just too much, yeah. Burrow, 25 for 32, 327 yards, and count them 4 passing TDs. I'm still, honestly, Burrow's probably my favorite for the Heisman right now.
He's really stepped up.
You want to know why LSU is good this year? Because of Burrow. See, I think Alabama could lose to it and still be just a pretty dang strong team because their probably backup quarterback is probably pretty good too, or he wouldn't be at Alabama. LSU is good because of Joe Burrow. If he goes down,
The whole team.
the whole team will probably collapse like a house of cards. So, well, maybe not that bad, but they're not going to win the national championship without Joe Burrow. So, but he's definitely one of my. We had number 12 Oregon at number 25 Washington. A close game.
Washington continuing their yearly decline, as I
Yeah.
would call it.
Yeah, Oregon won 35-31.
That may be the Pac-12's only hope.
Help me, Oregon. You're my only hope. We had the University of Kentucky at Georgia, 0-0 at halftime because it was
0-0 near the end of the third
in
quarter.
the third quarter. It was a winding, raining storm, but Georgia
Georgia's offense
snuck it
over
out
the past
21-0.
2 weeks, 2+ weeks.
they ain't looking really good, are they?
No,
looking
taking
really
a step
good.
backwards. Remember their
Kirby,
offense.
is it Kirby Smart? Is their head coach?
Kirby Smart is their head coach. I think he let their
Yeah.
he let their offensive line coach call the plays this year, and it's showing.
Maybe it's Kirby not so smart.
You shouldn't have let your offensive coordinator go to Tennessee.
Oh yeah, that's my Cheney leaving there might hurt a little bit. We had AZ State go to Utah. Utah won that pretty easily. I was honestly surprising. I thought AZ State might put up a fight. They 21-3. We had Kansas. What about that game? Kansas and Texas, 48-50.
The epitome of a
Kansas.
Big 12 game
But Kansas, I don't know, have they ever scored 48 points?
against the top
And
team.
not in basketball. I mean, not in basketball. In football, has Kansas ever scored 48 points? I don't know if they have.
Against a
maybe if you
ranked team?
total up the whole year, they might have scored 48 points last year. But that was a nice, exciting game. And Texas, at the last second, won it there.
Need to fix that defense, though. It's floundered.
We had Michigan, number 16 Michigan at Penn State. That's why we say number 16, because Penn State's number 7. That was Penn State ran away quick. Michigan fought back late, but not enough.
Jim Harbaugh's job is on life support right now.
It's definitely on the hot seat. I can smell some Harbaugh cooking down here in
Okay,
Tennessee,
it
too.
just depended-
I smell bacon coming from the west and a little cooked Harbaugh coming from the north.
Okay, who would have thought? Big Game James would pull out a big game, and Harbaugh's on the cook.
Harbaugh is on the cooking, yeah. And then we had Boise State. They jumped up into the top 15 just long enough to lose to BYU. so
So
that's
to the
that.
Smurfs, see ya sometime.
salute. We'll see you later. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into some Week 9. And like I said, we'll go over these 1 through 15 for you. And just to let you know, we will not be talking about number 7
Florida.
because they're on a bye.
Number 10, Georgia.
Number 10, Georgia, because they're on a bye. Or
A newcomer.
Newcomer. How long has it been since we've heard of number
Baylor.
14 Baylor? Number
Years.
14 Baylor. But they're on but number 14 Baylor's on a bye this week too, so we won't be talking about them. But we will be talking about number 1 Alabama. Like I said, I can still smell bacon cooking, and the smell
Do you think-
will probably get stronger this week because they're taking on
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Alabama's going to cook them. Yeah, that's a 30-point game. That's not even worth talking about a whole lot. We got number 2 LSU. This may be the game of the week.
The CBS game of the week
Auburn going to Death Valley
to take on LSU.
to take on LSU. And
Their offense is
It's a-
still not there yet.
It's a 3:30 game. It's not a night game, so Auburn doesn't have the complete death penalty. If you go to LSU and at a night game, then
That's the death
that's
penalty.
the death penalty. But I still think LSU wins it. And honestly,
Auburn's offense ain't quite there.
no, Auburn's just not quite there. They're up and down. Auburn can't do like they have by some of the other big teams. Get down by 18 points and then come storming back at the end and win
They
the
don't
game.
have the
That
operation.
ain't gonna
like-
happen.
That ain't gonna
at
happen
LSU.
with
No.
That ain't gonna happen.
So I think LSU wins by 10 plus points in this one here. So it'll still be exciting though. We got number 13 Wisconsin. Why are we going to 13 after 2? Because they're playing number 3
Ohio State.
at Ohio State. Yeah. I think Wisconsin. I think they have their chance. I don't think they win it now.
You don't think they win the game?
No, I think they lost their mole last week, letting Illinois slip up on them. I think if they had beat Illinois by 20, we would have had a game this weekend. But I think
Rather unfortunate because I would have really.
I would
looked
rather have Wisconsin. I've got a little soft spot for Wisconsin. That way come out with a strong offensive line and big running backs, and I love that.
and lackluster quarterback play,
Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah.
and that's probably going to doom them against Ohio State.
Yep. So yeah, I'm probably going with Ohio State on that one, and then we have number 4, Clemson. Boston College coming to town. Boston College is really not looking very good
Boston
either.
College.
So Boston College, yeah, they still got a football team.
They have a football team?
Yeah, but
They
they're
got
gonna lose by 35 points this weekend. But they got a football team.
Football team.
Yeah. And then we got number 5, Oklahoma, going to K-State, Kansas State. Oklahoma wins that by 3 touchdowns too. I mean, there's not a lot of excitement in all
In
of
the Big 12,
in the
I
Big
mean,
12,
it's
yeah.
basically just Oklahoma just trampling people.
Yeah, we got number 6. Now this is sort of an exciting game. Number 6 now, Penn State. Penn State moved up to 6, going to Sparty.
Which is on a down year.
But going to Sparty, how many times has Penn State lost at Michigan State?
I think a few times before.
I think a few times. I think that's a dangerous game for Penn State.
Trap game?
I think it's a trap game. The line on it is only Michigan State's 4-3, and the line's only 5 points. So, I mean, that would be 8 points out of neutral site and 11 points in Penn State. But still, you would think that Penn State would be favored by more than that. So,
Will Big Game James show up, or will Big
You wanna
Game
pick an
James
upset.
so much?
you want to pick an upset? Let's pick an upset.
Let's pick Michigan State.
Go Sparty. How about that one? How about Sparty? And again, number 7, Florida's not playing, so we won't talk about number 7, but we'll talk about number 8. We'll also talk about number 19, because number 8, Notre Dame, is playing number 19,
Michigan.
Michigan. Michigan has dropped out of the top
15.
15 now. So right now the line is even on that game.
You lose this game, your job security's on fuego.
It's already in fuego. It's going to be put out. The fire's gone, baby. If he does this one again. So who do you got? Notre Dame at Michigan.
With how bad Michigan's offense has looked, that defense won't hold up over
You don't
time.
think it'll hold up? You
I think the Irish get the Shamrocks on the Wolverines.
Oh, and bye Jim Harbaugh.
I think it's game over this year for Michigan.
Yeah, we already talked about number 9, Auburn, because they're at LSU. So we don't have. So we're not covering in, and we already mentioned that number 10, Georgia.
Also on a bye.
Bye week, we got Washington State, them Cougs, going to Oregon. That's a 14-point game too. I think Oregon wins that one.
Oregon, once again, well, it's been a while since they've been on top of the Pac-12 food chain.
Yeah. Speaking of the Pac-12 food chain, we will talk about Cal going to number 12, Utah. Yeah, I don't know much about Utah. I don't even know if I've watched one play of them this year except for highlights, because they're always playing at 11 o'clock at night against somebody I don't care about. The Cal game might be interesting. Cal's not horrible. They're not good, but they're not horrible. But I still think Utah wins it pretty easily. It's probably a 3-touchdown game. And then we will jump on to number 13, Wisconsin. We already talked about, so we can't talk about number Wisconsin, and we can't talk about number 14 because that's Baylor, who's on a bye week this week. So the only thing we can do is jump on down to number 15, who's Texas this week.
Even after struggling to stop Kansas on any offensive drive, they're still at number 15.
They go to TCU, them Horned Frogs.
If Texas's defense continues to flounder on the football field, then it's going to be a tough day. No matter how good your offense is.
I'll pick Texas.
You want to pick the Longhorns?
It may be 3 to 5 points, but that's about as far as it'll go. Hook 'em. And we will give a little honorable mention to SMU has jumped up to number 16 after getting the death penalty
so many
years
and
ago.
years and years and years.
They have come back.
Come back from the dead like 30 years later.
Yeah, and they are number
8-0.
16. Number 16 in the country. So a little shout out to SMU. We might be talking about you next
Next week.
week if you're in the top 15. So a little shout out there. Other than that, that's it. That is it for college football this week.
Send us a thought down below. Give us a like. Hit the subscribe button down below.
Share us with your friends.
Spread the love.
Spread the love. Hit the groovy baby button. It's over here somewhere.
Somewhere on my face.
Other than that, have a good week of football. We're gone.
See you next week.